Christmas Day, 1396. Paris. A lone rider, Sir James de Helly, arrives at the court of King Charles VI with a single, devastating message. The Crusade of Nicopolis is over. The flower of European chivalry lies dead on the battlefield, annihilated by the Ottoman Sultan, Bayezid the Thunderbolt. Constantinople, the last remnant of the Roman Empire, is surrounded. The Byzantine emperor wanders the courts of Europe, begging for help, but none comes. Christendom has failed, but salvation did not come from a knight in shining armor. It came from the east. An old, white-haired cripple, a chess-playing intellectual and a theological scholar, the greatest artist in destruction the world had ever seen. His name was Timur, and he was about to break the Ottoman Empire on his knee. Born in 1336 near the city of Kesh, in the mountains south of Samarkand, Timur was the son of a minor tribal chief who had fallen on hard times. By trade, a herdsman. By nature, a wolf. His body told the story of his rise. An arrow cost him 2 fingers. A shattered kneecap left him permanently lame. His Persian enemies would call him Timur the Lame, Timur Ilang. To us, Tamerlane. In 1370, after years of cunning betrayals and swordplay, Timur overthrew his former ally, Husin. At a great council in Bork, the mother of cities, the 34-year-old cripple was proclaimed the sole ruler of Mavarana, the land beyond the river. Unlike the Mongols before him who only destroyed, Timur built. He turned Samarkand into the jewel of Asia. He dug canals, encouraged agriculture, and offered tax breaks to farmers. But he needed workers. He didn't ask for them. He took them. From Persia, from India, from Baghdad, the finest masons, jewelers, and scholars were dragged to his capital to build a paradise. If you left without a permit, you were hunted down. And at the center of this empire stood a highly disciplined, utterly ruthless army of nomadic horsemen. Timur's first great enemy was to the north, the Golden Horde, the heirs of Genghis Khan. For years, the Khan Toktamish played a dangerous game, first as Timur's protege, then as his rival. Toktamish burned Moscow. He sacked the Caucasus. Then, he made a fatal mistake. He invaded Timur's borderlands. Timur did not fight defensive wars. In February 1391, he took 200,000 men north into the land of shadows, the frozen, empty steppe where the sun vanishes in winter. They marched 1,800 miles in 18 weeks. When they finally met at the Kandurcha River, the battle was a slaughter. Toktamish fled across the Volga, leaving his camp to be looted, but Toktamish escaped. For years later, Timur returned to finish the job. At the Turk River, Toktamish held the only ford. So Timur pulled a legendary trick. He ordered all the camp women to dress in men's armor and pretend to be guards. While Toktamish watched the decoys, Timur slipped his army across the river upstream. He caught the horde in their tents. Total annihilation. Timur did not stop. He destroyed Astrakhan. He razed Sarai, the capital of the horde, to the ground. He pushed as far north as the Russian town of Yelets. Moscow trembled. But Timur turned south. He had delivered the blow from which the Golden Horde would never recover. With his northern flank secure, Timur turned his attention to the rich, fragmented kingdoms of Persia and the Middle East. He approached the city of Isfahan. The city submitted, paid a ransom, and accepted a garrison. But one night, the citizens rose up. They slaughtered Timur's soldiers. The retaliation is the stuff of nightmares. Timur ordered his army to produce heads. Every soldier was required to bring him the severed head of a Persian. The historians record the number, 70,000 skulls. They were stacked into towering pyramids outside the city gates, a warning to every other city that resistance meant extinction. Baghdad fell. Damascus fell. He conquered Aleppo and crushed the Sultan of Egypt. And remember, every city he sacked, he didn't just kill. He extracted. The best craftsmen were sent home to Samarkand. By 1402, only one power stood in his way in the west, the Ottoman Sultan, Bayezid I. The victor of Nicopolis, the self-proclaimed Sultan of Rum. Bayezid was arrogant. He had crushed the Crusaders. He mocked the old cripple from the steppes. The insult that broke the camel's back? Bayezid threatened to violate Timur's favorite wife. In the scorching summer of 1402, they met on the plain of Angora. It was the two most powerful empires in the world, colliding. Timur brought 140,000 men, including battle elephants from India. Bayezid brought the elite janissaries and Serbian heavy cavalry. Timur had done his homework. He bought off Bayezid's Tatar allies days before the battle. When the fighting started, the Sultan's left flank simply evaporated. Bayezid fought like a lion, holding the line with his janissaries until dusk. But it wasn't enough. The Thunderbolt was captured. Legend says Timur kept Bayezid in an iron cage, using him as a footstool. While likely apocryphal, the symbolism is true. The Ottoman Empire was shattered. Constantinople would live for another 50 years. Thanks not to God, but to Tamerlane. Timur returned to Samarkand in triumph. The Sultan of Egypt sent him giraffes and ostriches, which walked 3,000 miles from Cairo to Central Asia. He built the Bibi Khanum Mosque, a colossal azure cathedral. He planted a golden tree in his wife's garden, with rubies for fruit and enamel birds for leaves. But Timur was not done. He had one final, grand obsession. China. The Ming dynasty had overthrown the Mongols. Timur planned to restore Genghis Khan's legacy. For a decade, he stockpiled weapons, explored the Gobi Desert, and fortified the border. In January 1405, at the age of 69, Timur set out with 200,000 men to invade China. But the winter was brutal. At the city of Otrar, the Scourge of God was struck by a fever. He died on a cold winter's night. He was buried in Samarkand, under a fluted blue dome, lying beneath a slab of dark jade. His empire died with him. His sons fought over the scraps, but his legend, the lame shepherd who conquered the world from China to the Mediterranean, lived on. 2 centuries later, Christopher Marlowe would put his name on the English stage. Tamburlaine. Timur was a paradox. A cripple who conquered the world. A scholar who built pyramids of skulls. A man who saved Constantinople while slaughtering millions. Was he a hero? A monster? Or just the greatest warlord the steppes ever produced? Leave a comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more forgotten conquerors.